You call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking gambling degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Well, hello, you degenerate fucks, and welcome back to the Degenerate Gambler. It is Thursday, the 21st of January, and we're here with Thursday's show, just looking at ahead to the weekend's fixtures, which, again, we're back on the FA Cup 4th round, so we'll get that soon anyway. But before we get to this week, I have to sort of apologise because I missed Monday's review show. Just sorry about that. I was very busy, but I'm going to do it quickly now. I'm not going to go through everything, but what I'm going to go through is Saturday's results. Now, both my bets weren't great. My main bet was bait from the first minute when Ross County went ahead against Aberdeen. Now, Aberdeen, I posted on social media, Aberdeen had beat Ross County 9 of the last 10 times. They beat them the last 5 away. But the only thing was Ross County do have a new manager. But anyway, that was well beat. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over the favourites or the teams that were missed, because that's always good to look at, because that lets you know if you had a chance or if it was slim pickings basically out there. So looking at that, I haven't done the decimal points of decimal odds. I've only done fractions, so bear with me. We could have West Ham at 3-4, Leicester at 1-2, Norwich 8-7, Forest Green 13-8, Watford at 5-11, Swansea at 13-8, Sunderland at 6-7, Charlton at evens, Ipswich at 11-10. Where I'm at, Portsmouth at 8-7, Peterborough at 5-4, Barrow at 11-10, and Leyton Orient at 7-4. That is 13 games. Plus, I had Chelsea in my bet. So that's 14 favourites, and there was 35 games. So, I mean, it wasn't brilliant, but that's about half. Just under half, which it should be a bit more than that. But yeah, so not a great week. That everybody saw, I had a really, really close bet on Tuesday night. Was really, really flying. Stoke let it down, and in some ways I'm glad, because Stoke went ahead and then they went behind, and excuse me, match ended up 3 each. But if it had, say Stoke had a win 3-2, 4-3, whatever, it was going on to, which at the time was 2-0 Leicester-Chelsea. And if anybody watched the game or had a bet on or whatever, you would have saw that Chelsea scored, I think Timo Werner scored in the 90+2, 90+3, and it was disallowed through VAR, which if I'd been waiting on that would have been a sickener. But anyway, still, it was close. Wednesday night's bet, terrible. Not doing a bet tonight. Thursday, no. So anyway, let's get on to this week and say, excuse me. It's not. I think I'm gonna do a quad of goals of over 2.5 goals. Tenner on that, and then I'm gonna do a fiver. A bit of a crazy bet here, but I'll get that in a second. So I'll go through my goals. This is gonna be my main bet for the weekend, providing these matches all stay on. That's another thing. So Gillingham versus Rochdale over 2.5 is 10-11. Ipswich versus Peterborough over 2.5 is 12-11. Sorry, 10-11 is 1.9 in decimal, and 12-11 is 2.09. Leyton Orient versus Forest Green is 11-10, which is 2.1. Tranmere versus Bolton overs, which is 8-7, which is 2.14. So that all together adds up to about 8-7. 8-7. 8-7 is the odds at Tranmere Bolton. 17-1. Sorry, just a slight bit under 17-1. So 10 on that, you'll get 180 back, which I think is fair enough. Sorry, actually, speaking about last week, I got to give another week bit of credit, because I didn't think to bet Man Footy for last week's nap, which was two under 23 games that were on Friday. Spurs and Aston Villa. I can't remember the opponents, but I think one of them was West Brom. But Spurs was up, and I'm waiting on the Aston Villa, which was 1-0 before half time. They hit the bar. Then it was half time, and then they came out and scored basically at the start of the second half. So very, very unlucky there. So again, thanks again to Batman Foodie for the picks. So anyway, back to this week. So that's my main bet, which is 17-1. Gillingham and Rochdale overs, Ipswich and Peterborough overs, Leyton Orient and Forest Green overs, Tranmere and Bolton overs. That is it. Now, moving on to this sort of crazy bet I'm talking about. I'm looking through these fixtures. There's one Premier League game. There's one or two in the Championship, a couple in League One, a couple in League Two, and then you've got your 8 FA Cup games. It's just, I'm really struggling looking at form, whatever, and I'm just not seeing teams that I would call a reasonably priced to win. You know, sort of around the 4 to 5, even money, 6 to 5, sort of, you know, that's sort of in between those two. For to be able to do like a 5-timer where it's maybe somewhere between 19 and 25 to 1, where you're going to get yourself over £100 for your £5 stake. So what I've done is I've just went with a old school style accumulator, you know, like a coupon bet. So here's what I went with. Crew at home to AFC Wimbledon, they're 3 to 4, which is 1.75, and Crew doing quite well in the league. AFC Wimbledon not great. Union Berlin away to Augsburg. This is the best price out of the lot. This is 11 to 10. Union Berlin sitting up there, sort of 5th or 6th in the German Bundesliga. So unexpected. They're not a big team, but they're playing another small team, who again, this is. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's not a nailed on result. They do have players out, 4 or 5 players out, but they're sitting 6th and Augsburg are 12. There's 10 points in it between the two of them. Form ways, Augsburg only got 3 points in the last 5 games. But I don't know. It's just they're in decent form. But I mean, they could maybe get a draw. But Union Berlin was that enticed me as a decent price, so I went with that. Next, and I say these bets are all over the show. There's not really much in England because there wasn't much to say I really fancied. Next was Inter Milan away to Udinese. That's at 5 o'clock on Saturday. Inter Milan currently sitting 2nd, Udinese 15th. Inter Milan have got 10 points from 5 games, Udinese 2. That price should probably be better because it's 4 to 7, which is 1.57. Next, we go to the National League North. This is how all over the show I was looking for fixtures. I was up, down, back, round, just anywhere trying to find a decent price and a team that I fancy, have a bit of form or something. So the next one is Chester. Chester play Blythe away. Chester sitting 2nd in the league. Blythe are bottom. Chester 10 points for 5 games. Blythe 1. Now Chester's away record's decent. 7th in the league. 10 points from 9 games. Blythe's home record, they've got 3 points at home all season. So, and that price is 4 to 9, which is 1.44. Next, we move back to the FA Cup. Or is that the first FA Cup game? I think it is, yep. And it's Brighton. Brighton play Blackpool, which I think will be a hard game. Blackpool are decent side, but I just think Brighton, even if they make changes, Brighton's one of those teams that play the same way. They pass the ball about at home. I think they'll have too much for Blackpool. So Brighton are at home. Home to Blackpool are 4 to 9 again, which is obviously 1.44. Next, 2 teams in not in great form, but again, I'm going with a home team here, and it's a team that I think have better players, and that is Aston Villa at home to Newcastle, and they are 1 to 2. As I say, both sides not in great form, but Villa are probably the better squad, the better team. But I mean, looking at their both teams' last 5 results, Villa have lost 3, drew 1, win 1. Newcastle have drawn 2, lost 3. Isn't that crazy? Now, in that time, they've had some hard games. Villa have played Chelsea, Man United, Man City in those 5, so they've had it worse. So again, I do think Villa have too much for Newcastle at home. And then lastly, RB Leipzig, who are away to Mainz. They are 2-5, which is 1.40. With this one, Leipzig have fell away a bit. They were sitting, I think they were top a few games ago, but they've had some bad form in the last 4 or 5. They're actually sitting 8th in form, but Mainz only have 1 point in 5. And in the history of the games, Leipzig beat them the last 10, but Leipzig's away. They seem to be doing better away. They've won 3 and drawn 2 in their last 5. So, yeah, I do think they'll get the result there and get the 3 points. So that's it. That is, what did I get? That's 6 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. Now, you would think it's only picked 7 teams. That's going to be 30-1, 25-1. No, 22-1. So I say that's how little there was of teams that I felt were worth picking. You know, some people might disagree. They might look at some of them ones that I was looking at that were 8-5 and think they're a sure thing. But for me, that's all I could go with. So yeah, that's this week for me. Before I go on to Sunday, this week's nap is gonna be. It's already been sent to me, and I will be posting it early tomorrow. And it is being picked by Dutch Betting Tips. That's his Twitter handle. Sorry, let me go back here because it's actually Dutch. Is it Dutchy? Sorry, I don't want to get his name wrong because that wouldn't be fair since he picked it. Here we go. Yes, it's Dutchy Betting Tips. So that's DUTCHYS. So Dutchies Betting BETTING Tips TIPS. Dutchies Betting Tips. As I say, I'll put the his Twitter bio. His Twitter handle. I keep saying bio. His Twitter handle in the description of the episode, and obviously I'll tag him in the post whenever a thing. It's not a huge price, but it is a decent. You know, I always say for me, not even money, between even money 2-3-1, maybe even 4-1 if you're pushing it, if you really fancy it. And this one is evens. So it's 2 games that he's gave me. AC Milan double chance, which means they win or they draw because it's 1x, which is 4-6, which is 1.65. And Vitesse Arnhem and I always forget how Grigon, the team Suarez played for before he went to Ajax. This could be over 1.5 goals, which is 1.26, which is basically 1-3, 1-4, something like that. So, fairly short prices, but when you add them together, they come to an even money shot. So, if that gets me maybe a free midweek, if I put a tenner on that, I get 20 back, and I can get myself free midweek. I'll be happy enough with that. So, that's Saturday covered. Now we're just going to look at Sunday and some stuff that jumped out at me. So it's just at a glance, nothing nailed down, no big research done yet, but just looking at what's happening on Sunday. So Middlesbrough and Blackburn would be a game I would think would be both teams to score. That's 10-11. Leicester are away at Brentford. I would fancy them at 7-11, which is 1.64. Napoli play away to Verona at 7-10. That's 1.7. Would fancy them. Here's a funny one. Livingston, who for the last 2 games have got 2 draws against Celtic, are home to St Mirren and they're 6-7, which is 1.56. I'd give that a word, definitely. I think that's definitely nailed on. That I really do. I looked at that and it jumped out at me. They have a new manager as well. Lost 5 or 6 games and they've been doing really well, or maybe 7 or 8 games. Next, Lazio to be over 2.5 goals is 4-7. That's 1.57. And lastly, Atletico Madrid or Atleti, who are home to Valencia, 2-5, which is 1.4. Now, as I say, that's not nailed in. That could change. I could add that. I could take one of those away. I don't know, but at a glance, that's what tickled my fancy. I looked a wee bit at it. Didn't really look too much. Didn't look, too much into it. But I'll do that before I place the bet. So obviously, keep an eye on social media and see how that progresses. Also, yeah, with the Saturday bonuses, I'll be giving them a look. See if Sky Bet or anybody's offering any good ones. Maybe Sunday there will be for the United and Liverpool game in the FA Cup. Maybe a Salah to have a shot on target up to even money. Bruno Fernandes even money. So yeah, we'll see. But keep an eye on social media for that. Quickly in the midweek, we're looking at a medium size midweek, nothing big, but we've got Premier League 4 games, Championship 2, League 1 12, League 2 2, League 2 10, National League 10, 1 FA Cup game, 4 Bundesliga, 6 in the Northern Ireland Premier League, and 2 in the Scottish Championship. That's Tuesday. That's a bet. There's a bet there. On Wednesday, not so big. It's 4 Premier League, 4 Championship, 1 National League, 4 in the Bundesliga, 1 SPL, 1 Scottish Premier League game. 6 Scottish Premier League games and 1 Scottish Championship game. So Wednesday not great, and Thursday's pretty much the same. So I don't know what I would do there for a bet. And looking at next week's nap, I've messaged a few people. I'm still waiting on some replies. If I don't hear nothing by sort of Monday or Tuesday, I'll probably just pick it myself. But as I say, I'll be texting more people on social media, more tipster pages to see if they're willing to offer. So if you do hear from me, as I've said before, I'm not asking for sure things. I'm just asking for what you believe is your best picks of the weekend, whether it be 1 or 2, given around the price of evens to sort of 3-1. I also have a few horse tip pages there that I might give it a whirl and see if they want to tip a horse. At the end of the day, it's only going to be a small bet, and it's something that a lot of these pages do it every day. So, maybe they'll send one my way. But anyway, that's basically it. For the meantime, that just leaves me to say, if you are doing a bet this weekend, just good luck and happy punting.
Here, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, thanks. Let me find out you fucked up. I'll leave you wherever I find you.